It started as nothing more than a flicker, a faint, rhythmic pulse of light detected by Hawaii's Gemini North Observatory. At first, astronomers dismissed it as a calibration error, perhaps an optical illusion caused by the telescope's own lenses. But the signal kept returning. It repeated across multiple nights, multiple angles, and multiple instruments. Something real was moving out there. And soon, the truth began to take shape. The interstellar object known as 3I, ATLAS wasn't traveling alone. Trailing behind it were several bright companions, distinct points of light, each one moving in perfect synchronization with the main object. They weren't random specks of dust or scattered debris. They moved as if connected by invisible threads, maintaining formation across vast distances of space. What began as a flicker in Hawaii quickly spread across observatories in Chile, Germany, and the United States. Everywhere astronomers looked, the same sight appeared, a convoy of luminous bodies gliding together through the dark. But then, the anomalies began. A strange green glow appeared, light emitted where no known carbon-based molecules should exist. 3I, Atlas also behaved in ways no comet or asteroid ever had. It resisted solar flares and plasma streams that should have shattered it apart. It released water vapor in the frozen outer reaches of the solar system, where the sun's warmth couldn't possibly reach. Something about it didn't fit the rules. As weeks passed, scientists struggled to find a natural explanation. Could this be a case of lens diffraction? A sensor glitch? Or perhaps fragments of the main body breaking away as it approached the inner solar system? But none of those theories held up. If it were breaking apart, the fragments should have scattered chaotically, spinning and drifting on unpredictable paths. Instead, these companions held formation. Perfectly. Predictably. Unnaturally. Across the world, astronomers began to see the same impossible order, smaller bodies moving in rhythm with a larger one, as though governed by a shared design. Each one reflected sunlight consistently, never tumbling, never fading. The more the data came in, the stranger it became. 3I, Atlas wasn't behaving like a comet at all, it was leading something. A procession. Even amateur astronomers confirmed the pattern. Independent observations from Europe and North America showed the same luminous points of light, moving with deliberate precision. It was as if a cosmic choreography was unfolding, but without a choreographer. In research centers from California to Munich, whispers began to spread. What if these aren't fragments at all? What if they're probes? The thought seemed impossible, even dangerous to say aloud. But the evidence pointed toward coordination, behavior that no natural debris could display. For centuries, humanity had been the one searching the skies for signs of others. But what if, this time, something was searching for us? As more data poured in, even skeptics grew uneasy. The motion wasn't random. The formation didn't drift. It looked controlled, like a fleet navigating the solar system with purpose. In the silence of observatories around the world, one idea began to surface. Maybe 3I, Atlas wasn't just passing through. Maybe it was observing. While official statements avoided speculation, others turned to the numbers, and that's where the real mystery deepened. Astrophysicists noticed an impossible trend. In just one decade, Earth had detected 3 confirmed interstellar visitors: Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019, and now 3I, Atlas. On the surface, it looked like progress in discovery. But statistically, it didn't make sense. There simply isn't enough interstellar debris in the Milky Way to explain 3 massive visitors arriving in such a short time. The probability was microscopic. The odds of this happening by chance were so low that many researchers began to wonder whether chance was even part of the equation. If the mathematics were correct, then something had changed, something deliberate. These arrivals were not random cosmic wanderers. They followed a pattern, a rhythm, a schedule. And patterns imply purpose. When the first trajectories of 3I Atlas were mapped, astronomers thought it was just another interstellar visitor, a frozen relic drifting between the stars. But then, the data started to shift. Tiny course corrections appeared, not chaotic, not caused by solar radiation or gravitational slingshot, but measured. Almost intentional. If this object was obeying celestial mechanics, it was doing so with an intelligence that understood them better than we do. The laws of physics weren't being broken. They were being used. As 3I Atlas continued its silent journey past Mars and toward the inner solar system, debates erupted across every observatory on Earth. Some believed it was a natural marvel, an interstellar comet forged in the heart of another galaxy, shaped by cosmic radiation and stellar winds for millions of years. But others whispered of something stranger. What if this wasn't debris? What if it was a signal, traveling not in radio waves or light pulses, but in motion? The shape of its orbit, the timing of its arrival, the energy it emitted. Everything pointed to a design too precise for chance. For now, no one can say for certain. The data is incomplete. The transmissions from several space agencies have gone quiet. Even the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most powerful eye, has released nothing beyond a brief statement, additional analysis required. The silence, it seems, speaks louder than the data. Because one truth still stands unshaken: the universe doesn't behave randomly. It behaves with laws. Laws we barely understand, laws that may not have been written by chaos but by intention. In December, when 3I Atlas re-emerges from behind the Sun, telescopes across Earth will turn toward it once more. Dozens of space agencies, private networks, and amateur astronomers will be watching, waiting to see whether its path will remain the same or shift again. Some predict it will continue out into deep space, fading quietly into the dark. Others fear it might slow down, that it could linger. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: the appearance of 3I Atlas has already changed us. It has reminded humanity that we are not the final observers in the cosmos. We are part of a much larger conversation, one that began long before our species learned to lift its eyes to the stars. For centuries we've sent messages into the void, radio waves, probes, mathematical greetings, hoping someone might hear us. But maybe we've been listening to the wrong kind of message. Because sometimes the universe doesn't speak with words or signals. Sometimes it speaks with movement, a turn in an orbit, a pause before a planet, a light that burns just a little too bright, a silence that lasts just a little too long. If 3I Atlas is truly guided, then we are witnessing something extraordinary, a design written not in metal or code, but in the language of gravity and motion. If it is natural, then it's a miracle of physics, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about cosmic formation. Either way, it has done something profound. It has made us question our understanding of space, intelligence, and even our solitude. It has forced us to admit that maybe, just maybe, we've been noticed. The next time the skies flare with its emerald light, the world will be watching. Every instrument, every telescope, every human heart will be waiting for an answer. But perhaps the answer has already been given. Because in the grand silence of space, intention doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it moves quietly, across orbits, across time, across civilizations. And if we've finally learned to notice, perhaps that was the message all along.